So I'm continuing second part in this series of college videos, and I think I'm gonna continue those. Um, I've been reflecting slightly, and I think it's important that at least my mistakes, I hope that they serve to maybe reach one person, if they can, um, and to highlight the fact that apart from God, we can do nothing. Okay, so as I was saying, I was at this I was drawn into this party, and I can't say I was drawn because the Bible says that, don't say that God tempts you, but it is man, and it is you yourself who out of your own lust goes after temptation. You go after sin. And yeah, I was far away from God. I never denied my faith verbally and even in my heart. I always held God as supreme over everything. But at the same time, that's what my mind said. That's what my spirit, in a sense, and I take it from the word where Paul says, what the things that I want to do, that my true self, my redeemed self, my transformed self wants to do, I do not do. And the things that I don't want to do, I do, because we have this battle with the flesh. But not making use of prayer, not reading my Bible, not setting my sight on the things of God, I was like, that was a very easy prey for Satan to take. And it starts as easy as like, hey, you don't have any friends in college. Hey, you just met somebody. Hey, he's they're into cursing and laughing about this and laughing. And it starts very mildly. And you might say, well, I'm not going to curse and I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I'm just somebody to talk to in class. But it starts like that, just one person individually making it into your life that you really shouldn't um, be incorporating into your personal life. You see them in a classroom, that's fine. But if you're not going to share the word, if you're not going to set an example with your life, even if you lose that one contact, then you really have no business, if you're a true Christian, with those people, because they're going to corrupt you. Um, so going back to the whole party thing, I ended up going to this party because one friend that I met at a tutoring center and where I worked, and I'd never been to a college party, and I remember just doing schoolwork, and um, I wanted to have fun for some, like, in my heart. I wasn't being filled by God in happiness and joy, not because God can't fill me, because I wasn't desiring him. I didn't want his joy. I wanted to find my joy. I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and I wanted to experience what I wanted to experience and pursue those things. And the Bible says that sin breeds death. And although I'm alive, and thank God, by the grace of Christ, he's cleaned me of all my sins, there are consequences. There are things that happen that you regret and that you can't change anymore. And although God has a deeper purpose behind every single one of those things, sometimes he lets you, he permits for your fall, for you to make certain mistakes in life, so that you don't ever consider having a higher place than what you really do. If there's one thing that God hates, is someone who thinks better of himself than he is. And we need to remember that we are fallen men in the hands of a mighty and merciful God. And therefore, even if you've never partied, even if you've never drank, even if you've never cursed, the fact of the matter is that you're a sinner. And until you don't get rid of this body and you are in his presence in a new state, you will sin with your tone, with your attitude, with your thoughts. And God doesn't want people who have those types of sin to think themselves better or in a better standing than those who sin worse. But back to the party thing. Um, I was very contrite the moment that I sinned, and when I stepped back in an intoxicated, pathetic state, um, I wondered, why, Lord, why would you allow these things to happen? Why do you allow me to sin? Um, Questioning, um, why, because I understood that He was in control of everything, absolutely everything. I understood that if He didn't want me to sin, there would be no force in this universe that could force me to sin. So I struggled with those things, and I later resolved them, but not without struggle and without coming to terms with my weakness. Um, Parties, stay away from them. Stay away from anyone who invites you to a party. Stay away from drinking. Drinking it destroys. It really does. There is no pleasure in drinking. Um, and if you do, I hope that you do remember my words and that you step into the mirror when you're drunk, because everybody has to use the bathroom. And I remember being in a state that wasn't. I mean, I was drunk. I've never been off the charge drunk, but drunk nonetheless. And I remember if there was one thing I hated doing was looking at myself in the mirror, because my eyes and my heart and the Spirit of God would essentially show me my sin face to face. And it was something that that was painful. So, and that's a mercy of God, because what if I didn't feel anything? What if I mean, if I was dead in my sins, I couldn't see that state, and I would continue in a path of self-destruction. But I thank God for always putting of His grace and just pouring down His Spirit on a wretched person like myself. Um, so stay away from those friendships. Look, in reality, if you are a Christian, if you're truly born again, you have no business hanging out with any of they honestly don't care about you. They really don't. I know it sounds cruel and it sounds harsh. Oh no, but they're my friends. No, think about it like in the deepest level you can. No one can love you with the true sincerity of Christ unless they have Christ. And if these people don't have Christ, they don't care about you. They are about the moment, the pleasure of right now, and you know, a lot of worse things can happen. You hear all these college stories about rape and things of this sort. They're true. They're not fake. They're true. People get raped on a daily basis in college campuses. People commit suicide. Sometimes it's a product of those rapes. Some people um, destroy their lives with drugs and things of the sort, all to look cool, all for the mating process. I understand that. You're at a young age where you're looking for a potential mate, but trust me, college is probably not the place to look for it, unless it is someone who is completely devoted to the Lord, someone who completely loves Him and desires Him. Um, then you really have no business going anywhere there. And I guess I'll transition into, should you date in college or not? And what is that stuff about?